Doubles and Coffee, Pnm, Larry Lala. Pnm, you should have known once Larry Lala involved in anything that have any sort of politics in it that he bound to lose. CPEP contractor put in a move for an injunction to take CPEP company to court to fight for the rights and so on. And then Anand Ram Logan, Freedom Law Chambers, hit them a letter, hit them a response, and immediately they had to withdraw the matter and run with the tail between the legs. Let me read from an Express article so you all understand. Don't worry with Pnm and their nonsense and the nepotism and the corruption and the friends and family and the recusals and only the rich get richer. Don't get confused by these Pnm. Express contractor backs down after CPEP legal challenge. A legal challenge filed against the Community-Based Environmental Protection and Enhancement Program, CPEP, by a contractor has collapsed less than 24 hours after it was filed in the High Court. Stephen Samuels Contractors Limited, which has moved urgently to reverse CPEP's decision to terminate its contract, withdrew its claim. Its claim forms statement of case and application for injunctive relief on Friday, 1 day after launching the action. The company's attorneys, led by Sinclair O'Neill and senior counsel Larry they had served a pre-action protocol letter on CPEP CEO Keith Eddy on July 3rd, calling for the immediate rescission of a termination notice dated June 27th. The letter gave CPEP until 3 p.m. that same day. That answer by 3 p.m. that same day. So strong, so forceful, this Pnm coming to serve against the CPEP, against the government, this Pnm contractor. By 3 p.m. The termination, which took effect immediately, was part of a wider CPEP decision to cancel contracts for more than 300 contractors, reportedly affecting upwards of 10,000 workers, they say. It's contractors, Pnm contractors, Pnm family, Pnm counselors family, Pnm ministers, mother and father. That's who. The corruption of the Pnm. Don't get confused with them. They're coming down in the fancy suit and the fancy car to tell all you walk in the hot sun. Well, the legal team also contested the validity of the Clause 15 of CPEP contract and all of that. However, CPEP's response was issued by Freedom Law Chambers and led by senior counsel Anand Ram Logan. And it cast doubt on the legitimacy of a contract extension signed between the two parties on April 22nd, 2025, 6 days before election. A contract extension. But hear this now. They extend a contract that didn't require extension because the contract still had 18 months and them extended for a further 3 years on top of the 18 months, taking it to 2029 to preserve the corruption. Understand that these contractors make $40,000 to $50,000 per month, while the workers who are literally going out in the sun, lucky if they get $1,200 or $1,500 per fortnight. So them protecting over $500,000 per year. If you have this contract for 7 years, them make over $3.5 million across the board per year. Let me continue. Let me read it further. So they question the legality of the extension. In a response letter, CPEP demanded a full explanation and documentation questioning whether the addendum had been processed in accordance with the procurement policy, the board approval, and principles of transparency. The legal team alleged that the sudden renewal appeared to bypass public tendering and raised serious questions of political interference, nepotism, and possible backdating. Later that evening, after they received the letter, on July 3rd, CPEP was served with the contractor's urgent High Court filings, including affidavits and a draft order. But by the next day, after Larry Lala and them do all that paperwork and hustle and put in CPEP under pressure, next day, they had to run and withdraw, run and hide, run with the tail between the legs. CPEP, in a subsequent letter dated July 4th, accused the contractor of abusing the legal process, alleging that the claim had been politically motivated, poorly grounded in law. This claim was misconceived, hopeless, frivolous, and vexatious, and doomed to fail, just like the PNM. It was clearly an abuse of the court's process, whereby your client was illegitimately invoking the court's jurisdiction for the dubious purpose of providing perceived legal political ammunition. CPEP also disclosed that the contractor had received over 7 million in payments from 2018 to 2025. This real small man thing, boy. This real grassroots, this real poor people. 7 million the contractor received. How much his workers receive in payments, right? With the claim withdrawn, CPEP has indicated its intent to pursue legal costs and left open the possibility of referring the matter to the relevant authorities for further investigation into alleged breaches of the law of contract. That is what these PNM people all of a sudden they want to hit the road. They never hit the road for people. It has nothing to do with people and workers. Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the UNC will fix all the programs, will make sure that money is well spent, that the taxpayers get value for money, that the workers and the most vulnerable get sustainable jobs, not playing games like politics, using the court for politics and getting licks. Larry Lala Senior Counsel, once Larry Lala involved, all they know is licks. They had to run and hide after big bravado, big thing to play politics to get a headline. And then in comes Anand Ramlogan with a big bat like Pollard and hit them away for 6. So understand, Kamla Prasad Bisesa is in charge. You all know her, you've seen her. You've seen her not only by her words, but by her cabinet notes and her leadership. She loves people. She loves the most vulnerable. She will do what's right to protect all, especially those most in need. So don't take basket from a government that spends $600 billion and yet the poverty rate went up from 16% to 30%. Don't take basket from a PNM government that sat in cabinet and Penny was there every time one of those 650 recusals walked out the door. Penny was there. Don't take basket from them coming out of the parliament and going and taking a few all in the Hot Santa Gallery. Don't play no petty politics with poor people. Kamla Prasad Bisesa will take care of those most in need, provide opportunities for people to take care of their families. End of story. Anand Ramlogan, you don't get fed up beating Lala Lele and all of them, boy. You don't get fed up. It's like taking sweetie from a baby. Bless.